Me ando me ho ye pa me da sese wagepini ne ekasa awie. Mamisha say free undertaking yati ni sisi ase a course or Alisa Hotel earlier today. The undertaking for the 4 contestants they said there will be peaceful elections and that all candidates will accept the outcome of the elections and there shall be no resignation regardless of the outcome. For you as a poster, what watch elections, both internally and at the national level, what do you make of points of undertaking?
Well, I think that taking a step back, Alan's resignation, Alan's resignation that one polling agent in the elections at the superdelegates, that was the only reported incident, infraction. And because of that, he resigns. I mean, this finding. And if maybe along the line, if the 4 don't see their infractions are, the person has signed. I'm sure the person, those who signed are signing. They signed based on the reason there will be fairness. But I think that the real reason for Alan's resignation was his performance as superdelegate. That for me was the main reason. So there was one infraction and you resigned because of that one infraction. But I'm sure the party too, haven't asked them to sign, the party will also play its part to ensure that there is fairness. And in conjunction with the security agencies, I believe that will be the thing for Saturday.
Yamko into Saturday. You've made some predictions already, but ebi kase akaka krem rene bebe no. Delegates are changing their minds. And no many honorable dynamo edin komo fidie aso. Okachire me say per his interaction with delegates in the die minutes to the election, in the die hours of the election, it appears that people are changing their minds and there is a huge chunk. He put a figure to it and said about 50% of the delegates are still undecided.
That is not true.
What do you have?
In June 2022, I'm currently finishing my 7th book on Ghanaian elections.
Okay.
So I've been working on what happened in 2020 towards 2024. And I have been doing some work within the MPP vis-a-vis who is likely to win and so on. And the front page of my paper, 22nd June 2022, almost a year before, I said that Bawumia will win, Kennedy will be second, and Alan will be third. And we've still been doing it. I'm just waiting for the results of Saturday to put it in the book and publish it. I think that quite a number of the delegates have made up their mind. Many of them was whether the person they are going to vote for will be the person who will appeal to same delegates in 2024 elections. That for them is the bottom line. And the work we had done, I think that Bawumia is hovering with a 2% margin of error. Bawumia is hovering around 73%, Kennedy 25%, and the 2% will be shared between the two, Adanimo and Dr. Afri Akuto.
Should this prediction not come true, what would you say?
No prediction is 100%. But I think that the work we have done, we believe it.
But with your margin and error, with your margin of error, Nidia was say ebo anameboa. So was it 2% and
Oh yeah. You see, what I'm saying is that when posters do their work, it is not cast in stone.
Okay.
You understand? And for the other people, also, I'm saying a in terms of who they want to vote for. You see, when people talk, say, because Bamia is the establishment candidate, you know, obey 2007, Alan Chamacho was the establishment candidate, but he didn't win. The establishment candidate, the establishment will do certain things for you. It is now down to the delegates and their thumbs. In 2007, you could see, say, any minister of state who supported Akufo-Addo was sacked by President Akufo. Bamia may be the establishment candidate, but their ministers of state, two of them, the deputy finance minister, the female Abuna, and Peter Mewu, they openly supported Alan. They are still at post. The Akufo-Addo being a victim of open support by the establishment, you can see that he's been a bit more considerate and reactionary towards support for the non-establishment candidate. So that, I think, will be the difference. And
so you do confirm that there is indeed an establishment candidate?
Oh, of course, definitely. I mean, there is. An establishment candidate, but the difference is between 2007 and 2022. There is a degree of tolerance by the establishment for people who don't support their candidate. That's the vast difference between 2007 and 2023.
Well, say, Dr. Baumia Winia, what would be the reason? Just by the fact that he's been the vice president and has been at the forefront of the MPP's campaign to win power and all of, and no nebeye jumamano. In your post, survey a show as the reason behind why delegates would want to vote for him.
You see, so Kaya, some all call around, there was a statement that Baumia is using his official time as vice president to campaign. If you see the reaction of his team, it tells you one thing. The man had decided to contest long ago. And because almost two of those who are saying so someone say president actually vice president or could leave. He had apparently passed his leave. And he has been interacting. One of Alan's biggest problems was that in the party,
Really?
Maybe would have done well in the general election.
You mean one of Alan's biggest problems in the party?
Yes, when Alan Martin peaked in 2007, that was over 15 years ago. You have to be elected by people within the party. Delegates are waiting 30 years now. Alan Pikin will be 50 on Alan Martin. Kennedy has been an MP for 23 years. Our parliament, or Kasa, he goes to national congresses, regional congresses. So
he's on radio, he's in the media and every time, yeah.
Hello?
I was just adding up, sir, for the Honorable Canada Japan, apart from the Wakakani, he's also very active in the media.
Yeah, very active in the media. Oh, and within the party. So that was Alan's major setback. And for people that don't like Alan. Not I don't like Alan.
You don't like him?
In 2007, I was a member of Alan Chamatin's media team in his campaign against Akufo-Addo. And I gave you one advice. Alan, if you want to have a future in NPP politics, vis-a-vis flag bearership, go to parliament or forget it.
Ben, did you say you don't like him?
Pardon?
Did you say you don't like Alan? Did I hear that?
I'm saying, comfortable in pen because can't be no.
Okay.
Let me say, I couldn't say it loud, but today, they didn't know that in 2007, I was a member of Alan Chamatin's media team in his campaign with Akufo-Addo. And when we were rounding up, I gave him an advice that Allah, if you want to have a future in contesting for the black leadership of the party, go to parliament or forget it. And 15, 16 years on, that has been his undoing.
But if you monitor his campaign as an independent candidate, it be said his candidature appears to be resonating. The
history of independent parliamentary candidates is nothing home to write about. Since 1992, the only presidential candidate apart from NDC or NPP candidates, had been Guzitando of the Reform Party, only 1.1%. That was in 2000. Even with the party and very good parliamentary candidates who gathered votes. The rest is below 1%. Onupo Peter Party. So with Alan, without the party, 2024, we know 1%. In my view, no idea.
Interesting. Now let's talk about post-Saturday. With the accusations, counter-accusations, suspicions, allegations being thrown about, will be can we, and it appears to say over undertaking now, the party's unity is threatened, and ama party at the ahompe prebi ISA meeting they undertaking yaba. Do you think that the NPP can regroup effectively after Saturday?
Oh, I think that a lot will depend on the party, how they conduct and how they are seen to be fair. If there are no reports of party-sponsored favoritism, those who will lose will find it difficult to cry foul. So yes, they've signed, but the party too has got its act to do.
In your estimation, Obi betimi resign biom after Saturday?
I'll be surprised.
Really?
There's a big if there's no open favoritism. And I think that given from what has happened, because Alan, he resigned because one person got injured, and it was the fear of heavier defeat, in my opinion. That is why he resigned. But given the way the party has regrouped, the candidates have signed, the rest is in the lap of the party.
Back to your polls, you give Dr. Bawumia about 70%.
73.
73. Okay. 73%, margin of error of 2%.
Kennedy 25.
Kennedy 25.
And the two candidates, the remaining two, we said 2%.
Now, Obi Bebusa, and it came up yesterday, for instance, when I spoke to one candidate, I don't know about that anymore. I asked about polls and surveys. The question Obi Bebusa said, you are dealing with over 200,000 delegates. We are opposed and saying now we are convinced they said Dr. Bawumia will win by that margin. Is it representative really of the over 200,000 people? Will sample size the same?
Person who asked that question. The year national election polls, millions of Ghanaians vote. How many people are sampled to get that? The person is a bit naive, would be apologies.